Between the New Orleans Saints and the London Black Knights. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the London Black Knights. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here, and I don't think from what the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, an early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now let's go!
They'll look to throw here. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Now, I know we're only 2 plays in, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, something has to change with the protection, and they can't wait to halftime to make an adjustment.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
All right, here we go.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. This complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
This is taken at the 18. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 3.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that can...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that, because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Smith in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, doesn't it?
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Back to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he gets it down to the 32. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for this case. Definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Foreman. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. A carry for Foreman. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
He's got his man on the crossing route. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video in those 4 seconds. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And Lutz puts this one through. So we've reached halftime here. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Perry, the return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Going for the deep ball. He's got it at the 15. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Saints. 55 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he is going to lose yardage here. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll set up to throw. Going deep here for out. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
They run it again with Kamara. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a pitch out to Kamara. Skirts by at the 15. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. A run for Nick Chubb, and he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Haven't been a defense coordinator yet. The thing 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job holding to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it.
Shit tripping stuff. Shit whack. You're still tripping? Hold on.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail.
It's still bugging. Man, I think I'm just gonna go buy one, man. I should have went to GameStop earlier when I was out there, which was raining so bad, so I ain't go.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Call it a gain of 9 there, and it puts him in better shape here for 2nd and goal.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays you'll need. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints are pouring it on. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road
Hey,
win
what
in
you
the
think about that
NFL
nigga Rex
is a
out?
great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
PG.
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Staying on attack. We'll see how they
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Yeah, he's going to be taking.
let me see what he on, bro. Oh, he in pro now. What? What?
Down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now they'll
Last
throw
night?
here out of the gun. And he'll find his man
Nah,
on
he
the
was
out
fucking
route.
me up
That's
on
Allen.
on
And
the
he'll be
press,
out of bounds after
and
getting
then
this one across the 40. A good
I was getting
pickup
fucked
there.
up on
8
the
yards on
screen.
the first down
It's like the
completion.
minute I let go
If
to
he's their
run
best
towards
threat
the
on
nigga,
offense, use
the
your number
screen
one
was
cover
catching
guy
me and
on
like
defense.
sinking me
It doesn't
underneath
matter
type
about
shit.
size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. And this is going to be incomplete. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
No.
Another
The screen,
wayward
like, so
pass.
when I was on
Things
top of
started
him,
out poorly in
the
this
screen
game,
one,
and
like the
to
way
be
he was
frank,
setting
they
the
just
screen,
really
like he was
haven't
coming
gotten
back,
much better.
clipping my
And all
shit,
that
so
does
it will
is
force me to go
embolden the
underneath,
secondary.
or
They feel good
he'll start
about
he'll
what's
do
going
that
on,
that,
and
that
just play
sit
better and better.
where PG start going when like when they holding the ball, he'll start going one way, then LT back the other way real quick, and then automatically sink me into the screen at the way he was going at first. He get that open wing shot type
He'll
shit.
go before heading out of bounds. A gain of 39 that time.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players,
Memory, I just know
they
where I
really
was fucking
don't
up
care
at.
as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody that has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll run with Foreman. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That's another reason why I
It's a big
kept
place in the
saying like.
passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running
That's
game.
what I'm
So
saying.
the
That's why I was
passing
saying
game
get my
loosening
rim
things
shot,
up.
because I could have
Now
still
there's room
guarded
to
that
roam.
shot, bro, and I could have shot over the motherfuckers in the
They'll
corner.
try and run for
You know what I'm saying?
first and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw.
He started. That's that.
And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry.
I mean, he
And
was.
it'll bring up
It was
third down.
50-50.
Okay, I'm not
Would
quite
be
sure how to
smooth.
judge
Like he
that
was,
one.
he
Maybe
was
didn't have
scoring
enough
fast
legs
break, but he
underneath
was
him.
scoring in the
Hands
half
might
for
have been
offense.
off.
Like you know, sometimes
Maybe
you
some
can just be like,
fatigue. That one
oh,
came
he
up
was just
short.
scoring on
Yeah,
breaks
fourth
for real.
quarter,
That's what
maybe
he
you
did.
do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard
But it just, you know what I'm saying, like,
Yannick
they want him
Ngakoue
though.
in
Alone.
there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And Bailey able to knock it through. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Sad, man. It's been a struggle on this lock shit, man. Like everybody be saying, like anybody can play lock. I just don't want to just anybody.
Out
play,
onto
like,
the field
you know what I'm
comes
saying?
New
Motherfucker
Orleans.
just anybody can play.
And
Like,
this
I'm
game
trying to
comfortably
protect
in
that
hand.
shit.
The scoreboard speaks for
It's
itself, but
tough.
you still got your starting quarterback out there.
Man,
When you
think
go to the
got that
backup, let
shit
him get some
down.
time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And able to push his way forward here for a
going
good
in on my
gain.
house?
It's a pickup of 4, and
Who
it'll bring
opened
up
my door?
second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. Best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb down to the 25. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way.
And he clutched like a 2v1 when he had a star, right? This was crazy. That was like a 1v3 or something. It was, oh yeah, it was a 2v3 because this nigga got P.O. in here. A little too much. So he's going in. Or coat upon.
And he is short. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And as a result, possession switches hands. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow. Talking about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know,
and the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Let's go! Green, 39!
Yeah, nigga, it's loud. No business doing
some shit. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Allen. The ball comes out.
Not that nasty, yeah, shit.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will be taken at the 13.
I don't know where that man go with this thing, bro.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Come by me. Look at they can spot you from them.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10.
What the fuck is that? It's a donkey.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb.
I said a donkey. I'm in the lumber.
Trucked him. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo.
Go put that back.
The best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here.
What's good with it?